Hello grade 2, welcome to Math with Mrs. Miller. So today we are going to be doing our chapter task, which means this is the end of our addition and subtraction unit, and you will be doing two things to show your teachers just how much you've learned this whole unit. The first one is a chapter task in your Math Focus workbook, and then the second one is going to be an interview that you're going to do with your individual teacher where you can actually explain all the strategies that you have learned. So for today's task, the chapter task, I want to remind you that this is one of our assessments, which means it needs to be done independently on your own. So please show us integrity by doing this assignment on your own without the help of anybody at home and taking that picture right away. All right, so today you're going to need your Math Focus workbook. You will need a pencil and an eraser, and obviously your iPad and some headphones and a great workspace so that you can show us all your wonderful work. All right, let's get started. All right, so for our addition and subtraction unit, we've been asking the question, how does it help to know multiple strategies when doing addition and subtraction? So I want you to think about that question again just for a second. I've had a lot of answers all about how every question is different, and we can't always just use the same strategy over and over because it might not work for every single question. So we need to be able to read that question, think about all those strategies in our math toolkit, and choose the one that works the best for us and our brain and for the question. So let's just quickly review what tools can help me solve addition and subtraction sentences, and you can have these available to you. So if you need to pause the video and go grab them, go ahead. We have our hundreds chart that is very useful. We have our number line. We can use base 10 blocks, which all of you have the little ones you cut out before, or we can just use our fingers sometimes if we need to. Now I'm going to ask the question, how do we use different strategies for addition and subtraction problems? So let's go over some of the ones that we've been learning about. We've got counting up or down on a number line. We've got counting up or down on a hundreds chart. We've got adding or subtracting with base 10 blocks. And we've also got the one that we've been working the most on is adding or subtracting by separating our tens and our ones. So if we take a quick look at this equation, 61 plus 33, we're separating our tens. So 60 plus 30 is 90. From our ones, 1 plus 3 is 4. Then you add those together, 90 plus 4 equals 94. Now, the last question I have for you before we get started in me describing your task is, when do we use what operation? So remember those posters in our classroom where we had all the ones that have to do with addition. We're talking about adding things all together, the sum, combined, total, both. But then we also have subtraction. We have take away, decrease, less, minus, how many more, the difference. So ultimately, when we're using subtraction, we're trying to find the difference between two numbers. And that's going to be really helpful when we go to look at our chapter task. So what I'd like you to do now is, if you feel like you need to go back over that to review in your mind what strategies you know, you can go ahead and do that, or go ahead and grab that Math Focus workbook, a pencil, and you're going to go to page 89. Okay, so everybody is on page 89 in their Math Focus workbook. And right up at the top, you've got the title, Choosing an Ice Cream Flavor. Now there's a lot of writing on this page, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and read through it with you, and I'd like you to follow along with your finger. And once you're done, then you can go ahead and start solving the problems. Okay, so let's go through this together. If you need to pause the video to go grab it, go ahead and do that now. So, help the students decide which ice cream flavor they should serve at the picnic. So you have a nice table over here with the question or title, which flavor do you like best? And it looks like they've done some kind of a survey. And they've got chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and maple as their flavors. And you've got two groups of people that you're working with, grade 1 and grade 2. And you have a bunch of double-digit numbers that tell you what the votes are for each grade. So that's just giving us background information. We need to know that moving forward. So let's look at our first question. How many people chose each flavor? Write the number sentence in the box. It says blank chose chocolate. So using this information, you're going to show a number sentence. You need to choose the correct operation. Remember, we talked about that before. Is that going to be addition or subtraction? Making sure you're filling the answer in as well as showing me a number sentence. Next one is how many chose vanilla, how many chose strawberry, and how many chose maple. All of that information's up there. Okay, after you're done that part, if you'd like to even, go ahead and do that part, pause the video, and then come back to it while I explain this one. Now, next question is, which was the most popular flavor? Using the information that you gathered here, you'll be able to answer that question. Which is the least popular flavor? You'll be able to, again, use that information. How many more people chose the most popular flavor from the least popular flavor? Now, this is that problem-solving question that I really need you to go back and start to think about what language is used to identify what operation we are going to use. Is that going to be addition or subtraction? And you'll have to figure that out. It says here, show your work on the back of this activity sheet. We don't have a back here, but what you can do is if you need more working space, use your whiteboard or use your math journal and go ahead and show your work on those pages to attach with this one. So you will actually end up submitting two different pieces or pictures to your teacher to this assignment. If you feel like you need to go through those instructions again, you can always redo that. Just rewind the video and press play again to see what you need to do. But you're ready to go. I need to remind you again that we're showing integrity by doing this independently, not having our parents or our nannies or anybody else helping. This is your chance to show your teachers just how much that you have learned this whole unit. Okay, so go ahead and get started. Take your pictures afterwards, and your teachers will review in homeroom the correct answers at a later time. All right, you are going to do a fantastic job. Good luck, and I will see you next time on Math with Mrs. Miller.